You know, it's a great shame when companies are no more. For example, this cool target system that you've seen me use for a number of years, the company that makes this, they've gone. They are no more. Why am I telling you this? Well, remember the first KAR98K I reviewed some time ago? Yes, that video. Sorry about that. Anyway, yeah, that was a shell ejecting KAR98K. Yes, this one I'm showing you now. But it was made out of plastic, even though it looks like wood. Well, that was made by D-Boys. And guess what? Gone. Yes, D-Boys no longer makes this. D-Boys gone. However, Double Bell has now made a real wood shell ejecting KAR98K. And that's today's unboxing. Okay, what do we get in the box? Let's go here first. I hear the rattling of some metal shells. Yes. Oh, and nice. Haha, look at this. A stripper clip. Lovely. And you get 5 shells. Nice. Okay, for the main attraction itself, it's to scale, and judging by the weight, it's probably not too far off the weight either of the real thing. Oh, look at that lovely wood. Now this is the reason why I was so happy when Swit Airsoft said, would I like to receive one of these to review? Because initially I was saying, well, I've already got something almost exactly the same. But the difference being, this is real wood. Now, what I wanted to do in this segment is just to do a quick comparison between the two. The original D-Boys one that I've had for a few years and this brand new Double Bell one, okay? And it will be a quick comparison because from what I can see right now, they are absolutely identical, other than the fact that the D-Boys body, even though it looks realistic, is made out of plastic, and the Double Bell, real wood. Take a closer look, and then we'll go through the features of the Double Bell. Okay, so let's take an up close and personal look at this Double Bell KAR98K. And the first thing of note is that the finish on the wood, they've not tried to make it all blingy and high gloss or anything like that. Do you know what? For what you pay for one of these bad boys, that's pretty decent. Absolutely loving the fact that it's all real wood. So let's go through the features. Now, let's start at the back. You've got your full metal butt plate. Then of course, you've got that lovely wooden stock. And then right there, you have your bolt disassembly disc. Now you would use that if you were disassembling your bolt, and you can stand your bolt up right in there. You've got your first or your rear sling point. Then you get to your full metal trigger assembly and trigger guard. You have your safety lever. Right now it's in the fire position, so if you wanted to put it on safe, you just flip it all the way over to the other side. And another feature with this being on safe is that when it is in the safe position, you can't pull the bolt up. And there we have your bolt handle and your bolt. Now, these bolts, when you get this KAR98K, they come shipped separately but in the box, okay? So it's all in the box, but your bolt will not be in your rifle. Now that depends on your retailer, because once your retailer gets hold of it and tests it, they may just leave the bolt in. But they do come shipped from the manufacturers with the bolt not in your rifle. But don't worry, putting it in your rifle is easy. Although maybe a little tricky, but still easy. Pull the trigger back, and whilst holding the trigger, put your bolt in. Then once you get it into about that position, or even further, you can let go of the trigger and then close your bolt. Now, you're probably asking, why would you hold the trigger down? Well, this is why. Before I do anything, let me pull the trigger, nothing will happen. See, nothing. However, if I put the bolt in without holding that trigger down, watch what happens. There's tension straight away on that bolt. Bring it on home, and look, imagine if this had a round in the chamber. It fires. So when you receive your KAR98K and you're putting in the bolt for the first time, hold that trigger down, put your bolt in partially, release the trigger, and then bring the bolt home, and Bob's your uncle. And if you ever want to remove your bolt from your rifle, you have to pull this lever open to release it. So, as we're here talking about the bolt, might as well show you how to load this bad boy. Now, there are two methods, just like the real thing. So the first method, pull your bolt back, and right there you can see where your first round will be chambered. You can then get your rounds and, just like the real thing, put them in one by one, manually. Oh, look at those. Okay, so when you push your bolt forward, just like the real thing, your first round will be chambered. So these have no BBs in them at the moment. So I'm going to just demonstrate the whole chambering and whether the shell ejection works or not. Here we go. Looking good to me. Or you can get yourself a stripper clip. But boy is it fiddly. That's better. And then we get to this very nice and authentic looking rear sight. And all you do is you just push that button in here and you can adjust it. And as we're here at the rear sight, if you lift it up fully, you can see where you adjust your hop up. And if you haven't spotted it already, there's your serial number, your front sling point, a place to put a bayonet, and a mock cleaning rod. And then of course, you've got your hooded front sight. And you know what I really love about these airsoft replicas of the KAR98K, specifically the shell ejecting ones? Just like the real thing, if you get something small enough, you can actually open your magazine floor plate or drop plate just like the real thing. Watch. So you just push that little button in that hole, push it down. Now if your magazine drop plate doesn't open immediately, just get your thumb and push forward slightly and watch. Oh my gosh, just like the real thing. And then you can dump your magazine rounds instantly. Nice. Right, I've got my 5 shells all ready to go, so I'm going to do a chrono test and then a quick accuracy test. You know, this is what I love about airsoft. You get all the satisfaction of loading guns, playing with guns and doing things like this, knowing it's all innocent, it's all for fun. Hell yeah! Last one. Now that is nice. Very skirmishable. Awesome. Right, let's put a couple of rounds down range. Okay, we all loaded up and ready to go again. I just love this whole process of putting these in one by one. Now don't get me wrong, the stripper clip is also cool, but it's so frustrating sometimes. Anyway, let's do this. Now, before you all start saying, "Oh, Airsoft Mike, oh, I don't know about that, you're not very good, are you?" Listen, for starters, this isn't a high-end rifle, okay? It's a beautifully made, in terms of how it looks compared to the real version, a beautifully made KAR98K in Airsoft. It's an affordable one, it's made out of real wood, real metal, and it's shell ejecting. Keep that all in mind. And don't expect anything fantastic. However, come on, look at these shots. Those are pretty tight, and if you don't believe me, here's one of the shells. These shells are a smidgen over 3 inches long. Here's my top shot, as it were. Here's my lower shot, okay? Here's the shell. Look. My lower shot and my top shot are pretty much the same length as this shell. Now, as much as I love this thing and the whole realism of it all, it's not all pros. There are a couple of things I wish were a little different. So here we go. You might just have to do a little bit of DIY yourselves, because look at this band right here which has your front sling point on. It's not the firmest of fixtures, look. Yeah, that's a bit loose. What else? This bit's a bit loose as well, look. Push that back. But above everything else, I just love that shell ejecting. So there you go, people. This is the double bell shell ejecting made out of real wood KAR98K. So just to recap my pros and cons, starting with the cons, really wish some of the fixtures on there were a bit tighter than what they are. And if I'm totally honest with you, as well and as good as the shell ejecting side of things worked for this video, off screen I was testing this constantly, and believe it or not, 9 times out of 10 it would successfully eject, but every now and again it will jam. So my only solution to that is make sure you pull that bolt back vigorously and your shell should eject every time. Now, remember the D-Boys model I showed you earlier? If you pull that bolt back vigorously, that normally just comes straight out of the rifle and you've got the bolt in your hand. Not good. But with this double bell one, It didn't occur, not even once. That bolt is in there good and proper. So that leads me nicely on to the pros. Oh my gosh, it's a real wood, real metal shell ejecting KAR98K. If you want to get yourself one of these, head down to the video description where there's a direct link to this rifle. I'll also put a link for the spare shells that you can buy, and if you are one of the owners of the original D-Boys KAR98K and you are having trouble with your bolt, SwitAirsoft.com has the new double bell bolts for sale on their website. I'll put a link down there too. And those double bell bolts will fit in your original D-Boys. Hell yeah! Ha! That's a wrap. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time on the Airsoft Mike YouTube channel. Oh, and just a quick shout out to a smaller YouTube channel called Airsoft After Hours. When I bought my first D-Boys KAR98K, the videos that channel did on that model was invaluable. Nice one. Airsoft After Hours. Check them out.